Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalrin, and today I'll be doing a key binding video, my own key bindings, as well as some tips and tricks for you guys to key bind for PvP in Warlords of Draenor Season 2, patch 6.2.2. Now, key bindings are as unique as us. Every person is different and unique and has their own taste, their likes, and their preferences, and I feel like key bindings should follow suit. The way you key bind should be the most comfortable way for you. I cannot tell you the best key bindings in the game. A lot of people will tell you the best key bindings, but I've seen people that use WASD as well as all the keys around them. I've seen people use Y, G, H, and J for movement and all the keys around that. I've even seen Cobrak's weird style of using the arrow keys as well as letters like K, L, O, P, as well as other brackets on the keyboard and number pad abilities in order to cast spells for your Warlock. Now I'm going to go over my key bindings, so look at your keyboard as I am talking, and you'll be able to see kind of what I'm using for my key bindings. Since I'm using Q, W, E, A, S, and D for mobility, I try to use only Q, W, and E, but it feels weird not using all 6 buttons, so this is my mobility, and I kind of play around mobility for my most basic abilities. While 1 through 4 and R are my very basic offensive abilities. Shift R is always a stun, no matter what game or class I'm playing, in order to remember it easier. Same thing goes for T and Shift T, same thing goes for Shift F, which is always a heal, universally. And F is an execute, stealth, or a transformation ability, again, universally. This way I'm always able to remember what key binding does what, no matter what game I'm playing, and I never have to think about how do I want to key bind, how different do I want to make my key binds, what are my key bindings for this class, what are my key bindings for this game. Then I have abilities such as F1, F2, F3, and 4, which are kind of out of reach, but I put my defensive cooldowns on there, which are on a 2-minute, 3-minute cooldown, so I kind of hit it and quit it. Shift space is also defensive cooldown for me in certain cases, but not for all characters. 5 is a utility ability, also for cooldowns. Then, while I'm holding down W, I can hold Shift and hit E while holding down W. And that's usually my mobility abilities, such as Burst of Speed or Feathers for Shadow Priest. I can hold down W and hit Alt 1 for defensive abilities, such as Fade for Shadow Priest or Faint for Rogues. And I have an Alt 2 as well for other utilities. I only have Alt 2 used for my Rogue for Cloak, which is a Parachute Cloak, but I do use Alt 2 as utilities for other games as well. And then that's really it that I can really tell you about the keyboard. The mouse, however, you should invest into some sort of gaming mouse because it makes gaming experience much better, but alone your mouse already has a couple different key bindings that you can use in order to enhance your gameplay. You have the scroll wheel, you have the left click, and you have the right click. Scroll wheel click is my cooldowns. Shift scroll wheel click is my defensive cooldowns. And then I have shift scroll up for my kick, which is easily usable when I'm training a healer. Scroll wheel down is for blind, which I have on a mouse over macro, which I'll talk about macros in a whole nother video if I need to make one for 6.2. And then for my actual Naga buttons, I just did what I was comfortable. I started using it at the end of Pandaria, so I only have bound 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 11, and 12. So there's a 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons and I'm not even bound. That's because I'm not using them because they don't feel comfortable to reach over to. I have my set focus macros on there, my sap macro to find enemies in sap, and those you simply just have to practice. Those don't come naturally at all, because usually when you're playing most games, you don't use your mouse with buttons. Most people don't, at least. So that's something I had to get used to. Another bounds I have is for shift. We can add like shift 2, shift 3, shift 4 for other utilities, which I do use from time to time. That's my shiv, my gouge, and my natural boots, or my natural belt. So that is something you can use for yourself. You can also use Alt and Control for any one of these buttons. 1 through 4, Control, Control 1, 2, 3, 4. But that is up to you. That is something you can do. That is something I don't do though. So what you should be doing, and you should be getting out of this, make your key bindings as universal from game to game, from class to class, from character to character, so then you never have to remember, or have to be forced to remember, which one do I have, which one do I press, which one do I run. How do I play this character? How do I play this class? How do I play this game? And this way you're able to utilize your key bindings at all times in the most optimal manner. Get used to them much easier. And be able to execute and pay attention to the game more than looking at your keyboard trying to figure out what you're trying to do. And those are the best tips I have for you. Just stay comfortable, because the more comfortable you are with your hands, the more you can focus on the game and figure out what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. My name is Darren. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. This is the best I can tell you about key bindings for PvP. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to do with my key bindings. You don't have to replicate them. All I'm trying to do is how I'm serving you as an example of what I'm doing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.